Their criticism today. I don't know what I'm going to read. Let's check it out. What's happening in the Middle East? There's a security conference happening today. I was watching YouTube, social media, and so on, and I saw this video from a Hispanic teacher, a Hispanic professor, talking about Noam Chomsky. Noam Chomsky was just another agent, was really close to Jeffrey Epstein. Anyway, so there's no heroes the left has. I mean, world is a fantasy. World is a simulacra. Noam Chomsky always was a simulacra, left simulacra. But anyway, here we are reading Al Jazeera. And says live updates. This is a live updates coverage about the security conference. World leaders gather in Munich for second day of security conference by Niels Adler and Federica Marci. February 14, updated 9 hours ago. And there's the summary. Maybe there's the topics. Maybe will be a summary right away. The 62th Munich Security Conference is taking place at the Bayerischer Hof Hotel in Munich, Germany, from Friday to Sunday, convening more than 60 heads of state and government, 50 leaders of international organizations, and participants from at least 115 countries. I guess Pepe Escobar is not there because he was not invited. Sorry, Pepe. I'm going to read Pepe Escobar's telegram right away, but the question about Pepe is that he tries so hard to be popular, saying he has all the friends in the world. Maybe he is important in BRICS sphere, and that's cool. Yeah, maybe that's the reason why Pepe Escobar didn't got invited to a security conference in Munich, the 62nd. Pretty fly for white guys. 50 leaders of international organizations and participants from at least 115 countries. The first day of the gathering on Friday saw French President Emmanuel Macron call for a quote-unquote strong Europe, while German Chancellor Friedrich Merz acknowledged a quote-unquote rift between Europe and the US. The second day's participants include US Secretary of State Marco Rubio, Ukraine's President Volodymyr Zelensky, European Commission President Ursula von der Leyen, British Prime Minister Keir Starmer, and Syria's top diplomat Assad Hassan al-Shaibani, among others. 7 minutes ago. US tone may be more polite, but the message is largely the same as last year. By James Bass, reporting from Munich, Germany. I think the European leaders are relieved that they didn't get the sort of strident speech as that from US Vice President J.D. Vance a year earlier. then even got that seemed like an apology from the Secretary of State Marco Rubio, who said that sometimes Americans are a little direct and urgent, but only because they care deeply. So a very different tone, but some will say the message was the same. What we have seen over the last year is a lot of action, and Europe shouldn't be complacent about this new tone. It's just the Trump administration saying the same things, but in more positive and polite way. 22 minutes ago, February 14. Watch, European leaders seek to reset U.S. relations in Munich. European leaders emphasize the need to repair ties with the U.S. and restore Europe's global standing amid repeated criticism from Trump, threats of tariffs, and even military moves on Greenland. The German Chancellor warns that the rules-based international order is ending, while the French president calls for Europe to become a significant geopolitical power. Al Jazeera's James Bass reports, and there's a video, but I'm not going to watch it. European leaders call to mend U.S. ties and boost Europe's global role despite Trump's criticism. 37 minutes ago. 37 minutes ago, February 14, Saturday, about 200,000 joined Iran anti-government protests in Munich, police say. So there's a protest anti-Iran in Munich. The protesters have rallied on Munich's Wise fairgrounds, denouncing the leadership of Iran's Islamic Republic following the deadly repression of nationwide protests in January. Some waved flags with a lion and a sun against horizontal green, while white and red stripes, the emblem of the monarchy overthrown in 1979. Yeah, the previous flag. More than 6,800 protesters, including at least 150 children, are thought to have been killed in a sweeping crackdown by the government on the protest government in Iran. 150. There's oh no, there's a lot of people. Almost 7,000. Al Jazeera is saying 7,000. That's unbelievable. There is Wise, which hosts the huge annual Oktoberfest fall gathering, is located less than 3 kilometers, which is 1.8 miles from the security conference venue. Last week, an estimated 10,000 people gathered in Berlin in response to a call from the MEK, an exiled opposition group considered quote-unquote terrorist by Tehran. And finally, 1 hour ago, quote-unquote, first peace, then elections. Ukrainian member of parliament. U.S. President Donald Trump is the quote-unquote only person who can lead us to peace, because Russia will speak and respect only force and strength. End quote. Ukrainian member of parliament Oleksiy Goncharenko has told Al Jazeera on the sidelines in the Munich conference, quote, there are just two countries in the world Russia are afraid of. It's the United States and China. So there are just two men in the world, President Trump and Chairman Xi Jinping, who can influence them, end quote, he said. Quote, I hope that President Volodymyr Zelensky will show President Trump that we are willing to make peace, end quote, he said. Quote, it's not in Chicago or in Washington where people are freezing to death. It's not in San Francisco or Los Angeles, which are bombed by missiles and drones every day, so we want peace. Goncharenko said Ukraine should not be forced to hold elections during wartime simply because Moscow demands it. It's fair argument. Quote, first, it's legally impossible according to Ukrainian martial law, but secondly, it is physically impossible, he said. Yeah, it's also true. And there's a photograph. Ukrainian rescuers work at the site of a Russian strike on a private residential building in Kramatorsk, eastern Ukraine on February 12th. So a lot of trivia, security trivia conference. Everybody just talking about a lot of things.